Welcome you students. Let's move to the second unit, equilibrium of rigid body. Equilibrium of rigid body. What do you mean by rigid body? Rigid body in the sense it does not undergo any kind of deformation. Such object we can call it as rigid body. And this rigid body has mass and the dimensions. Okay. So here what do you mean by the term called equilibrium? It's a familiar word for us, right? So equilibrium, and the last unit itself we have learned equilibrium is nothing but sum of force acting on the body is equal to 0. That means the resultant force is equal to 0. Sum of horizontal force, sum of vertical force is equal to 0. Such kind of state that can be called as equilibrium. So we're going to have the force system and we're going to analyze the force which is acting on the rigid body at the state of equilibrium. Okay. So what about the static particle and what kind of force we just learned? The force system we learned is a concurrent force. Am I right? Concurrent coplanar force, concurrent non-coplanar force. Such kind of force we analyzed in the first unit, statics of particle. This is the concurrent force. All the forces acting on the point on the particle is just on a single point. The point of applications is on the single point. Okay. So here in the rigid body, what we're going to have is all the forces or non-concurrent forces. All the forces acting on the body won't be a concurrent. It's a non-concurrent forces. Okay. It won't be the point of application of all the forces acting on it is different. Okay. So here in this unit, we're going to have the non-concurrent coplanar force and the non-concurrent non-coplanar forces. Okay, fine. Let's move to the concept called moment of force. Moment of force. Okay, moment of force. So for example, so I just going to have arrangements of slabs something like this. Okay, and one of the end which is fixed, which is hold, and one of the end is free. At the free end, I'm going to have the force called F like this. So if I apply a force something like this, it is fixed, this end is fixed, and I'm going to have a load or force something like this. What happens? This force which makes the slab to rotate. Am I right? Just it makes the slab to rotate. So I can say ability of the force to rotate the object, which can called as a moment. Ability of force to rotate the object. Okay, mathematically this moment can be calculated by force into perpendicular distance. So here the force acting something like this at the end here. If I take the distance of the slab from one end, just like or, if I consider it as or, it is being derived the applied force product of the force into the perpendicular distance, the 90-degree distance from the force. So F into R. This is known as what? The moment of force. Moment is defined as product of applied force and the perpendicular distance. Right? So this moments can be the direction. If I talk about the direction, it can be two kinds. One is clockwise and another one is anti-clockwise. Okay, so here this moment actually a vector product. So it has magnitude as well, the direction, okay, magnitude and direction. So magnitude can be calculated by F into R, and this unit, SI unit for the moment can be taken force into distance. So Newton meter. So or I can define it as Newton mm, or I can define it as kilonewton meter, something like this. Okay, Newton meter is the SI unit for moment. So direction concern, I said in the previous there is a two direction, clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. If I consider the force is acting something like this, and for example here the force is going to have something like this. So this is the arrangement, something like this. Okay, so in this first case A, the force is applied like this manner, am I right? Downwards, one end is holded and one end is free, and in the free end the force is. So when the force acts upon the slab, what happens? It tries to move the slab in the clockwise direction, something like this. The cause is just a clockwise. Okay, so the direction here is clockwise. In order to specify it, we can make the rotation something like this, and for denoting or specifying the clockwise moment, we have to assign a sign positive. Okay, so here the arrangement is something like this. In the right side it is being holded, so here is the force. So just try to imagine the force is something like this. What happens? This force causes the slab to rotate in anti-clockwise, right? Anti-clockwise. This is how. Okay, so this is the best example for anti-clockwise. Here the direction can be specified something like this, arrow, and we have to assign negative sign for anti-clockwise or counterclockwise moment. Okay, so direction concern, two directions are there, clockwise and anti-clockwise. So when you are coming across the clockwise direction moment, we need to specify positive, and when you are coming across the anti-clockwise moment, we need to specify minus sign. Okay, this is all about the moment of force. And the next one is moment of couple. So consider there is a slab arrangement something like this, and the force is acting upon the object. This is so F, and here next force something like this. So this moment of couple is said, moment is produced by a two equal opposite and non-collinear force which can be called as known as couple. Moment is produced by two equal, opposite and non-collinear force is known as what? A couple. Okay, so here is a slab and we have two forces with the same magnitude F and F. Direction concern, it's opposite in direction, it's upward and it's downwards, not in a same line, it's a parallel forces. Okay, it's a parallel forces. So here comes, when the force is acting something like this, there won't be any kind of translating motions. Okay, one place to another place, there won't be any change in position. Okay, so I can say sum of all the forces acting on the body is considered as 0. Resultant force is equal to 0. But since the force is acting something like this, one is two equal and opposite direction non-collinear force, what happens? It provides a rotation. Since the magnitude is equal, it provides rotation. Okay, so there will be a moment. Already we know the concept of moment. Am I right? That means moment is equal to force into perpendicular distance. So here comes both the magnitude are same. So we can take force F into its perpendicular distance. Any one of the force we can consider. Its perpendicular distance between the points. Consider point. Okay. If I take this as R, I can take this as R. And this moment is a vector quantity which has direction and magnitude. Okay. Fine. And then we shall move to the next concept called Verginon's theorem. Verginon's theorem. Let me rub it off. Verginon's theorem. Okay. So this Verginon's theorem states that algebraic sum of all the forces, algebraic sum of moment of all the forces at any point is equal to moment of the resultant about the same point. This is the statement about Verginon's theorem. Actually, this Verginon's theorem is used to locate the resultant force. When you are having the system of force in the rigid bodies, if we need to locate the resultant, with the help of this Verginon's theorem, we can locate it. Okay. So, for example, in order to give the mathematical expression for it, I am going to consider an example. So, here the force arrangement I am going to take. I am going to take it something like this. This is the F1 and this is the F2 force, and here is the F3 force. This is how the system of forces. So, I am going to take the rigid body is something like this. The line of action is okay. So I am going to take the meeting point. It is here O. Okay, O. And for these three forces, I am going to consider the resultant force somewhere here. It's inclined, and this is the resultant force. Just a consideration for all these three forces. This is the resultant. Okay. So here, the Verginon's theorem says sum of moment of all the force at any point, sum of algebraic sum of moment about any point. So here I am going to consider O. So summation of MO, which is equal to moment of the resultant. Okay, moment of the resultant. What do you mean by moment? It's a force into perpendicular distance, product of force and perpendicular distance. So if I consider the resultant force moment, I can say R into its perpendicular distance. So its perpendicular distance will be somewhere here, O2, this 90-degree distance. I am going to consider this as R. So if I take the moment for the resultant R into small r, we will get it. Okay. So this is how we need to frame the formula. Sum of moment of all the forces acting on a body at any point is equal to resultant moment. That's all. So if I take the or elaborate the moment which are acting upon this body, I can say F1, F2, F3 force is there. Am I right? Sum of moment about O, I can say F1 into its perpendicular distance. So for this F1 force, its perpendicular distance is here. I'm going to take this as R1. So we have to multiply with R1. If I take it for F2 force, its perpendicular distance is here about O. So I'm going to just take this is with the distance R2. So I can take plus F2 into R2. It's just a consideration. Okay. And if I take it for F3, so here 90-degree distance about O is with R3. So that I can say plus F3 into R3, which is equal to R into R. So this is how we need to elaborate it. Okay. So this is the mathematical expression for Bernoulli's theorem. So I hope you understood the concepts of moment of force, moment of couple, and Bernoulli's theorem. Okay. Thank you so much.